Hey everyone, we're back with our first adventure of the evening, which I've entitled The Coccoon. But as always, before we introduce our heroes, we're going to take a brief moment and, before we introduce our heroes, we're going to introduce our heroes before we get to the adventure. I got my phrasing flipped around on me. So first up, we have joining us tonight, Daakar Greycloak, the Dragonblade. Good evening, Daakar.
Hi. How's it going?
I'm doing quite well. How are you, Daakar?
I've been doing pretty good, actually.
I'm very glad to hear that. Tell me, is there anything new in your life as of late, Daakar? What's going on with you?
Hiori, do you mind if we, talk about it?
Sorry, I was eating fish.
It sounds like, well, actually, why don't we take a moment? It sounds like this is something that you guys have discussed together. We also have Hiori Glasia joining us this evening, the glittering Avenger. Hello, Hiori.
Hello.
Hiori, how are you tonight?
I was previously stuffing my face with a ton of salmon that I just got on the market.
I know that you're a big fan. Tell me, you eat fish raw, correct? You just enjoy fresh from the river, or do you cook the fish before you eat it?
Yes.
Either way, it does not matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
So, Daakar, Hiori, it sounds like you have some type of announcement to make or something you want to say together or reveal. What is it?
Well, I mean, the announcement is a big
I'm gonna
phrase.
make you say it because I just want to hear it come from you.
But it's a lot of okay. Hiori and I have realized that we enjoy each other's company very much, and that we are like we are closer than friends.
Hi, we're dating. It's that simple.
Hiori, Daakar, the two of you are in a relationship. You're as, I don't know if there's an equivalent to this in the lands of DnDTime, but what one might call Facebook official.
Yep. We did actually get our faces imprinted in a relationship book. You are correct.
Oh, okay.
We are Facebook official.
Oh, well, that's excellent. I'm very happy for the two of you that you were able to, while out adventuring and exploring the lands of DnDTime, also find love and happiness with each other. That's wonderful news.
Also,
oh, please.
recently I got this cool this hand gauntlet thing. It looks like a monkey.
Interesting. What side does that go on again?
The left side?
The left hand of the monkey, yes. I've heard, I'm familiar with another adventurer who has used that item to a pretty significant effect, also a Dragonborn, actually. So, from my experience at least, you can expect some great things from that item.
Ah, that's good. I noticed that I can much more easily hold my greatsword now, so I can start using my shield with my greatsword again.
I was going to say, I'm terrified for the foes that you face as you set out in your adventure today, Hiori, because that is a threatening combination. So, Hiori, Daakar, welcome to both of you, and also very happy for both of you. Best of luck today in your adventures.
I got him the chocolates first. But yes, thank you.
Thank you.
And next up, we have joining us, it says Jade Twilight, but I believe it is Ura who is joining us tonight, correct?
Correct.
Ura.
I'm not that worthless feline.
Of course not. I would never say as such. Ura, tell me, how are you this evening? Tell me, what have you been up to?
Now that I've been initiated with the rest of the Cloud Council, I've been fairly happy.
I'm glad to hear that. You said that you've officially been initiated. What is the initiation like for the Cloud Council. What did you have to do to get in with this group?
That is none of your business.
I apologize for overstepping. I was just a bit curious, but perhaps you could tell me what your role is now that you have taken up with the Cloud Elite, so to speak. Has this granted you any new power or influence?
No, I am still in training as a disciple.
I imagine there's a lot of work for you still to do, Ura. But congratulations on taking this new step in your worship and in the doctrine of the Cloud. I know that it is in many ways, I know it can be a lot sometimes, Ura.
Very daunting, but
Yes.
I am enjoying it. It gets me away from the one whose eyes are clouded with green and the worthless, lazy feline.
And the spirits are asking a question right now, and that is, Ura, is this the same sect of the Cloud Council that is worshipped by the likes of other adventurers here in the lands of DnDTime, such as Crixus or Euchunkus, or is this a discrete sect of cloud worship?
No, I'm with Crixus and Euchunkus.
Yes. I know there's a lot of intricacies to the relationship between these various sects, so it's interesting to hear. Well, Ura, again, I'm happy for you at your recent promotion of sorts. And well, I wish you the best of luck today as well.
I thank you.
And last but not least, you guys heard that Valraith was supposed to be out with you tonight, but you haven't seen Valraith yet, so you don't know if maybe they might pop in at a later time. But without further ado, we are just going to hop into our adventure here. And where the three of you have been sent is to a pretty small region of the frontier known as the Hive. It is a place where Entothropes gather. For anyone familiar with Entothropes, of course, these are were insects, kind of insect humanoid hybrids that undergo transformations perhaps a bit differently than the lycanthropes and werewolves that you're used to, always kind of remaining in this hybrid form. And as you kind of approach the Hive, Bartholomew, of course, has teleported you out there. You can see it. It's located right in the kind of the midst of the desert. And it's just this kind of large mound of sand that is kind of just rising monolithic out of an otherwise pretty flat expanse. It looks a lot like a giant anthill. And you can see a couple of Entothropes that are actually currently walking out of it. They are Entothropes. They are all kind of carrying big barrels of water. It looks like they transport water here because they have some deep wells to other places in the frontier that are relatively dry. But that is where our adventure begins. A couple of these ants walk past all of you. They kind of greet you. Good afternoon. Hello, hello, hello. As they kind of shuffle past the sanded hill that leads up into the Hive proper is before you. What would the three of you like to do as we come into our adventure?
I thought this was about butterflies? There are ants here.
And as you're kind of saying that, one of the ants kind of stops and goes, "Oh, yes, you must be the adventurers. There were a couple of butterflies that had a problem. Hello, by the way. I have to transport this water, so I can't stand around talking all day, but you might want to speak with them.
Okay, thank you.
Have a nice day."
You too. And they quickly depart.
All right, yeah, you guys kind of climb your way up the sandy side of this. Basically, it's like a sand dune, really, and it's a little bit hard to climb, like it's falling out from under your feet. The bugs didn't look like they had any issue with it, but you can feel it kind of falling away, so you're probably a little bit tired as you reach the crest of it. But then down below you can see what looks like darkness. There's like a vertical tunnel that goes straight down, and another one that looks like it's just this smooth, polished, almost rock slide that leads down further into the hive. But there's the vertical, just the vertical shaft, and then this slide. What would you guys like to do?
I don't think we want to hop down the shaft. That sounds like a death sentence.
I'm
if
just
you
glad that we're
climb.
heading underground. It's such a bright day out.
Yes, it is very hot. The sun beats down pretty heavy over the frontier. So, do you guys want to take the shoot, so to speak?
We have no choice.
It looks like fun. Let's do it.
Fair enough. And if you like slides, it's a pretty fun slide. It is in pretty abject darkness as you're just spinning around and kind of curving downward. It goes on for a long time. It's pretty quick, but eventually it comes out into a long kind of opening where you can see just a point of light narrowing ahead as you guys kind of rocket through this chute. And eventually, once you reach it, sudden kind of explosion, you're all blinking for a moment. As you come out into a pretty grandiose underground cavern that looks like it's entirely been carved. You can see, for one thing, it's lush down here. There are well-tended gardens, a lot of flowers, trees, plants, and things, tons of Entothropes walking around. You can see climbing and working along the walls, a lot of those ant Entothropes. In other sections, there's a whole part of it that looks like, well, a beehive that's being constructed, and you can see bee Entothropes that are kind of fluttering around out there, tending to the various combs. And you have come into the concourse here of the hive, kind of standing, kind of like mulling about, sitting in a chair, reading what looks like a newspaper. You can see a massive, like Hercules beetle Entothrope that's just kind of sitting down in a chair that was obviously had to have been built just for them, as they stand maybe 8 or 9 feet tall, all said and done, with a wide body. And as you guys kind of slide out into the space, they look over at you and go, "Oh, we don't get many, well, non-bugs around here. Hello."
Hello.
Hi.
Quite a slide.
Oh, yes, some of the bugs like it quite a bit. We have some other exits for the larger folk like me. I don't particularly enjoy all the running around and the spins and the flips. I feel like it's a bit excessive personally, but no accounting for taste. What brings you to the hive?
Butterflies, but on the off chance you're a Hercules beetle, yes?
I am, well, part Hercules beetle, part human.
Alright, at some point... never mind, don't worry about it. Yeah, we're here for butterflies.
All right, well, if you change your mind about whatever it was, I'll be here. I'm just kind of a greeter. Around here, say hello to folks as they roll their way in. Although usually, well, not a lot of people I don't know roll in, so this has been a nice change. If you're looking for the butterflies, there's well, actually, I seem to recall you may want to go over to the coccoonery, and he kind of points that way. There's a couple of parents over there that were a little bit concerned about their son. Hasn't taken a long time to come out of his cocoon. Happens sometimes, you know.
That would make sense. And that's probably the job we're here for.
Yeah, I don't hear all the business of everyone, but that seems like a good place to start. Well, good to see all of you.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
Thank you for the directions.
And he goes, you, and just follow that line of ants right there. It's walking by. And there are ant lines walking everywhere. They're walking with a great degree of purpose. There's no real roads around here. It's a lot of open space. But there are just roads that they everyone here seems to agree upon and understand, even though they're not demarked. And as you kind of walk by up to one, there's just a pathway of ants walking single file. As you walk by every single one of them, hello, hi, hello, hi, is just kind of like talking at you. It's a scene of, it's a strange combination of chaos and perfect order in the space that you're in now. But you have kind of a pathway and a tunnel that seems to lead in the direction of the, what he called the cocoonery. So if you're interested in heading that way, or do you want to do anything else before you walk down that path?
The sooner we get out of here, the better.
I was gonna say, while this is all therapeutic to look at, I think we should get straight to the point.
I think that we should maybe stop to get a lantern for you before we head in any further.
Yeah, if you want to, also if you are interested in having a lantern, I can just say that you have one too. If you think that's something that you would normally carry. If not, though, we can also stop off.
That makes sense. I am as blind as a bat down here.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's light. It's well lit within the greater space inside the hill. There's like torches and things that are about.
Okay.
Also, you can see that there's a number of like firefly entothropes that are just kind of like hovering around and kind of moving back and forth, and they're casting interesting glow around.
So never mind. I'm not blind as a bat.
Yeah, you can see in this greater cavern. So anyway, yeah, you guys kind of continue along that way until you eventually find your way to what you have to assume is the cocoonery. You can see that there are cocoons hanging down. It's a much less refined and like well put together cavern than the other one. It's just kind of a large open underground space. There are some pretty large trees that have been grown up in here. You're not sure what the species of these must be, but they tower, hundreds of feet high that kind of grow up into this cavern. And you can see there's just tons and tons of cocoons that are hanging down from various branches, all of different colors and shapes and sizes. And there are also quite a few like what looks like were butterflies and were moths that are kind of flying around, some of them kind of like pointing and looking at the various cocoons, almost like people would look at, kind of like people would look at babies in a hospital to an extent, where people are like, oh, isn't that one cute, and things like that. But yeah, as you enter into the space, you do see what looks like one couple of monarch butterfly entothropes, wings kind of like tucked behind them, kind of concerned looking to an extent, as they're staring out at a cocoon in this space that is absolutely massive. It dominates the visual scape as you come in. It's towards the middle, and it's 10, 20, 30 times larger than any other cocoon here.
Oh.
And those two butterflies are looking at it kind of nervous.
Hiori's gonna quietly approach them from behind.
They don't notice you because you do so quietly, and they're still just staring at the cocoon. You can kind of hear them muttering to themselves, I'm sure he's fine. And then, it's been 3 months, dear. It's usually a week. We've watched how many couples come in and or watch their caterpillars grow and change. It's been 3 months. And this is the conversation they're having as you're kind of walking closer.
Or clears a throat.
I was gonna say, eventually the noise of Hiori's armor is gonna catch their attention.
Okay, yeah. Well, clearing the throat does the trick as well. They kind of whip around and look at you. Oh, I'm sorry you startled us a bit. You are not Entothropes. Are you, perchance, the people that we hired? Do you work for Bartholomew?
Yep, we're the adventurers.
All right.
Yeah, I work for Bartholomew when I'm not making furniture.
Okay, that is wonderful that you're here. I don't know if you usually handle this sort of thing. We're a little bit worried about our son. Are you good with children?
I'm good with kobolds.
She kind of looks past you to Ura. Sees Ura, because Ura, you wear like a skull mask, don't you? And
Yes.
you have these like long flowing like black like wings, and kind of looks past Ura without asking, and then towards you, Daakar. Are you good with children, perhaps?
I'm a little bit. I've made some cribs before, but I've never really worked much directly with kids.
And she kind of looks at her. She kind of looks at what you assume to be her husband here, and kind of, I don't know about this, dear. It's fine. We just want you to go and check on him. It's inappropriate for parents to go into the cocoon of their child while they're undergoing their metamorphosis. So we just wanted someone else to go and check on them to make sure that everything's okay. Everything's okay. It can be a delicate time for a lot of young were caterpillars as they undergo this change, and we're just a little bit worried. Normally it takes about a week, but his cocoon just keeps sort of getting bigger. That's his cocoon there, and he points up towards this massive cocoon. It just sort of keeps getting bigger, and we've never quite seen anything like it. No one really has. So if you could just make sure he's okay, ask him maybe what's going on, and let us know that we don't have to worry about him.
Are you sure you're not being airship parent?
We've tried, but normally it's a week, and it's been 3 months. So it's just pretty much, this is what we've hired you for. And he looks a little bit like maybe you struck a nerve as you said that. So are you going to take the job, or what?
Of course we are. We're here, aren't we?
I don't really know how any of this... I'm sorry. He's just a bit agitated because it's been so long. Just let us know what you think. Do you need help getting up there? We could probably arrange... I don't know if we could carry you, looking at you, Hiori, but we could arrange someone else to fly you up.
How tall is it?
It's the trees are hundreds of feet up. The cocoon that particularly is hanging down that they're pointing to is about 100 feet off the ground. You'll be able to go in. You can just break right through the sides. That shouldn't be a problem. Where insects build their cocoons a little bit larger than regular insects, so there's room in there, and it'll just fill itself in as he repairs it. So just find a nice spot and crash right through.
Okay.
You might have to take us up there first. I, for one, cannot fly that high.
We can hire, we could ask a beetle to do it. We'll be right back. And just a few moments later, as they come return with that Hercules beetle that you saw before out front, someone needs a lift. Oh, it's you three again. Hey, you need me to bring you somewhere?
All the way up there.
Yeah, no problem. He kind of leans forward onto his forelegs. You can see he has like an extra set of arms, and he just kind of like leans forward and says, "Just go ahead and hop on my back, and I'll fly us right on up."
Hiori's gonna hop on. That's a lot of Dragonborn.
He's also a lot of Hercules beetle, and as his wings kind of fan out and begin to they're flapping unbelievably fast, and you hear him kind of as he begins to fly off the ground extremely slowly, and it's just hovering up 5 feet at a time as he's very, very gently flying over towards the more like an elevator than flight. I imagine, Ura, you just fly. You just
I can't
fly
go
there.
up that high.
Oh, you can't.
Mm-mm.
Interesting. So in that case, you fly alongside. Is that part of the? Why can't you? I'm just curious. Is that like in the rules for 5e that flight only works up to a certain altitude?
No, backstory.
Oh, fair enough. In that case, you hop onto the Hercules beetle as well, and the three of you kind of fly up, and he's kind of like now just hovering right outside the very large cocoon. He goes, "This is the one, right? You can take it from here. You are
Yeah.
maybe a bit heavier than most of the fare I towed around.
Sorry.
Not your fault. That's nature. But if you could just..." And he just kind of like leans his head over towards the cocoon. He's like hovering right around like the bottom of it right now. But you're just in front of this huge green wall of the matter that this cocoon is made from.
So, how hard is it to crash through this cocoon as we were instructed, quite literally?
There's only one way to find out. How are you going to go about it?
Oh man. You know what? I'm gonna just take my sword and I'm gonna cut through it instead.
Go ahead and make me an attack roll. 20, roll damage on that.
Oh, cool.
Oh god. Alright, yeah. 18 points of damage. You overswing a ton because you did not realize how easy it was going to be. And as you reach out and kind of cut through, it opens up into like a whole big side of the cocoon that you're on, kind of rips away to the sides to an extent. And you can see you now have opened basically what looks like an entire room within this cocoon. And it looks like a storeroom that you're walking into right here. You can see big like barrels that seem to be made out of a similar substance as the rest of this cocoon that are like stacked and piled. The beetle kind of looks over and into the room that you've just cut this hole into and goes, "Oh, weird. Never seen the inside of one of these things before. Looks kind of nice."
A little bit. Alright, we're gonna
Alright,
hop
okay, go.
off and inside. Yep. And then Hiori and Daakar are inside.
I'm following behind.
Yeah, by the way, there is a plunder in on deck.
Very good. All right, gonna bring him. I'm gonna bring him in. And are you here, Plunder? Plunder?
Hello.
Plunder. You are playing Valraith, correct?
Yes.
Are you ready to go?
Roll 20 say finished loading, and I am good to go.
All right. And as the three of you step in, Valraith, Bartholomew kind of, as you showed up a little bit late to Bartholomew's shot for the teleportation, and Bartholomew goes, "I'm just going to teleport you to where they are now. They'll fill you in." And as you guys step up into this kind of storeroom-like chamber within this cocoon, you can see right next to you, Valraith just appears to your side, kind of a little bit thrown off, a little bit bewildered. The Hercules beetle looks at you. "Best of luck in there," and begins kind of flying back down. And also, almost immediately, Hiori, the big slash that you cut through and opened the gate into this room begins to kind of slowly close over itself.
Hiori will hand Valraith the recruitment brochure, because they totally have those.
Yeah, Valraith, from what you were to understand, apparently you were going to be helping you're apparently going to be helping a caterpillar out or something, getting it out of its cocoon, or just asking how it was doing in the cocoon. Bartholomew's a little bit loose on the details. But you see your companions, and he already hands you a brochure.
Okay.
You know what? I always wonder something.
What? What do you wonder?
If Bartholomew can just drop people in like that, why doesn't he ever drop us closer to where we actually need to be?
In the words of Sotaria, because he's stupid.
So I'm not going to grace that with an answer.
I'm only repeating what Sotaria said. That's all.
Because he wants us to get exercise. I don't know. Cardio.
You're being too kind. You're being too kind.
Anyway, back on track. Where you probably know Valraith. Maybe. I don't know. If you don't, it's on a brochure.
Yeah, Valraith doesn't seem to know much about what you guys have done and what you're doing up to this point. But the chamber that you're in, like I said, it appears to be a storeroom. There's a lot of closed barrels and crates and various materials that are, they're covered over, but they're made. The cocoon is a bright green, just in the same way. So are like basically all of the walls here. And the room that you're in, eventually the cocoon kind of closes behind you. The light from outside in the chamber around this, it's dark in this room, but it's kind of casting enough light through the walls that everything has this kind of weird green glow about it in here. Since now the wall is just a solid wall that is on your side. And on the other side of the room, there is a door. You can hear some sounds coming from outside and beyond it, something like muted conversation, but a little bit tough to make out from the present situation that you're in. What would the four of you now like to do?
Are these crates and barrels at all marked as to what's in?
They are not, but also they're made of the same material that you just destroyed with a single swipe of your sword, and that was like the larger chitinous outside of this thing. So
all right, well, can I just take my hand and open a barrel?
yeah, absolutely. You can also just open one up, and as you pull the top off one of the barrels, you can see within it's filled with leaves. A lot of them are kind of pretty big leaves, maybe the leaves from the tree that this chamber is in, but they are kind of crumbled and folded because those leaves are massive. So yeah, it looks like these barrels, pretty much all of them are filled with leaves. Some of them are different kinds of leaves, but leaves. A lot of the barrels are also filled with water.
Leaves and water. That's it. All right, let's move on to the next room, I suppose.
All right, sure. You step out, open the door, leading into, and again, the inside of this cocoon, it's looking more almost like a house at this point than it is just a cocoon. But as you kind of step out, there's a hallway. Across from you, there is across from you, there's another door, and then in a chamber over on your left as you come out of this cocoon, there are a whole bunch of voices that are speaking. You can hear them kind of just laughing and cackling about something, and it sounds like more than one voice. Absolutely.
I thought there was only supposed to be one of them in here, but that sounds like more than one.
Maybe a couple of the cocoons got too close and kind of merged together?
Maybe I was unkind when...
What was that?
You cut out a little bit at the end there, Mizra.
I said maybe I was unkind when your parents...
You actually, again, you cut out on the, we've heard maybe I was unkind when, then you cut out again.
Lovely.
Sorry, bad luck.
She was saying that maybe she spoke too soon about airship parents. This may be another type of problem.
Yes. In that case, what do you want to do? It's light. It's well lit in here. Beyond the green glow that kind of emanates from the walls of this place, there also appears to be. You can see like the flickering of what seems like torchlight or candlelight, something of that nature.
I'm impartial to moving or going up, but like, I don't know. That's a lot of people, or at least it sounds like a lot of people.
Let's just go up and see what's going on.
Okay.
All right. So you're gonna lead the way, Uruda?
I guess.
All right. So Ura, you step out down the hallway and into this kind of larger open room that you see here, and it seems something like a living room, but it's kind of been maybe turned into something more even closely resembling a saloon almost. And you can see a whole bunch of what look like big caterpillars that are kind of sitting around, kind of laughing and talking amongst themselves.
One moment.
And that is the scene that you come into. I don't know why this isn't working. Can you guys hear any music right now?
I cannot.
Huh. Oh, that is odd. One more time. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with that, but as you kind of come out and into this chamber, you can see a whole bunch of these big caterpillars that are all kind of sitting around, kind of laughing and talking. Some of them, you see, two of them are sitting across from each other at a table, playing with their many kind of like tiny little hands, cards, and in addition to their smaller hands, they have two like slightly larger hands that are a little bit more like agile as they kind of are laying one down, and one of them kind of goes, "Full house," and kind of slams it down. The other one kind of rolls back, and the first one kind of starts chuckling. Another one is pouring what looks like three glasses of water over at the bar, and as they do so, they kind of bring the water over, put it down at the table, and all right, deal me in on the next one. And that is the scene that you hear as you're coming into the space.
What?
The cloud looks down on laziness.
As you say this, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
It's actually a lot more reasonable than some of the other things that I've heard the cloud looks down on.
And as you say this, you see three caterpillar bodies kind of awkwardly. Their lower kind of halves of their torso are kind of like underneath the table, but they all kind of lean and face towards you as these three giant caterpillars look at you at once. Excuse me, who are you?
We're looking for the owner of this cocoon.
Health inspectors?
Yeah, okay. He looks at you. That I believe, as he points at Ura. What do you want with Kafka?
We wish to speak with him.
They all kind of have like
Where
their
is he?
their heads all kind of bump together for a second, and they all kind of seem to be like whispering amongst each other, and then they all kind of pull back and go, "He's upstairs. I'll go get him for you." And they kind of one of them kind of turns around and begins kind of walking up the stairs. They're not doing like the caterpillar. They're not doing the caterpillar kind of inch forward and then like spread their body backwards, like you would almost expect from an inchworm or anything like that. They're just kind of like crawling along the ground on little spindly legs. Like I said, some of them are kind of like a little bit longer than other legs. It's a weird, it's a very strange being that you're looking at in the form of these caterpillars. But one of them kind of goes up the stairs. Another one kind of goes, "Can I get any of you a drink? Only thing around here is water."
That would be fine.
No, thank you.
All right. And one of them kind of turns around and goes and pours a glass of water for you. Pours a glass of water for you, Hiori. Daakar, Valraith, do you guys say anything?
Okay, I'll take some water.
All right. Pours a glass for you as well. A couple moments later, you hear a voice, a big kind of loud voice begin to boom from upstairs as they go, "Ooh, company?" Not long after, you see the caterpillar that went upstairs comes back down, and then you feel the whole cocoon kind of like swinging back and forth to the side to some extent as moving down and into the chamber, you see a much, much larger caterpillar than the rest of these caterpillars kind of wander in and goes, "Hi there."
Hello.
"You are guests? Visitors? Hello, I'm Kafka."
Hello, Kafka.
"Oh, what are you doing here?" "Welcome. I didn't expect any more guests. I didn't think there'd be any guests."
Where do we start with this?
I don't know.
We could just be blunt.
Yeah, but sometimes people don't respond well to being blunt towards. We're here to check on you, see how you're doing.
Hold on 1 second. Guys, I'm hungry again. Can you grab me something? And the one that was just playing cards before. "Sure, no problem, Kafka. Anything you say." And they kind of run backwards and into that storeroom, and they come out with two of those big barrels of leaves. And while he's talking to you, Kafka just starts eating huge kind of chunks of leaves out of these barrels. He goes through one in like a matter of minutes, and then they go and kind of grab another one and bring it out as he just kind of keeps eating while he's chatting. "So you were checking on me, huh?" I'm okay. It's really nice in here."
Yeah, how do we say this?
Your parents are worried about you. When are you coming out?
I don't know. Why would I want to come out of here? And he kind of looks around. I just get, I get to eat all of these tasty leaves. I get to hang out with my best buddies, and this is like a really good life. I don't know why anyone comes out of the cocoon. I'm thinking about just hanging out, forever.
But if you do that, you'll never have wings, and then you won't get to fly.
Wings, schmings. My friends here give me all the food I want. You need food to go and pollinate flowers, because that's kind of how you eat as a butterfly, and, well, other stuff, too. It's complicated. I haven't learned about all of that stuff from my parents yet. They told me they'd tell me more about it, about the flowers and the trees once I kind of finished up. But I figure I'm just going to be here with my friends. Do you guys want to hang out?
No.
Alright.
Well, maybe.
That's fine too. What are your names, by the way? I'm Kafka. This is my cocoon. I made it. It's crazy. I didn't even know I could make this thing. I made other stuff too. I keep getting better at it. I can make like tables and stuff. I made those tables. And he points over at the tables.
Are they nice tables?
They're tables. They're functional. They're made out of the same material as the rest of the cocoon. Everything in here is, save for like the leaves and the water that are in these barrels.
So
I'm Daakar.
Hi.
I'm Hiori.
Nice to meet you. You're almost
Or
like.
doesn't.
Go ahead.
Or doesn't say anything.
You're kind of scary. Looks at you, Valraith. You're almost like a butterfly already. You have very beautiful skin. Plunder, you with us? Plunder maybe. Valraith may be out of commission. We'll see what happens on that. Anyway, they kind of look at you and just, all right, well, here's a good snack, but I'm gonna probably go back to bed. But you guys are welcome to hang out. You guys are welcome to hang out down here. Meet some of my other friends, or I don't know. Tell mom and dad I'm fine. Maybe I'll just live in this cocoon forever.
What happens when you run out of leaves and water, I mean?
Oh, my buddies keep getting me more. I ran out a long time ago. They're really good friends. And one of them kind of goes up and just pats him on the shoulder. His whole body, he is massive in form, and his whole body almost like jiggles with kind of like water and just whatever the innards of a caterpillar are, as he is way oversized at the moment. And he goes, all right, like I said, a little bit sleepy. And he kind of rolls around. Man, something about being in a cocoon. I get sleepy all the time. Worth it, though. He begins kind of moving himself back up the stairs. And his body is almost too big for the original staircase that he made for himself, so he has to kind of squeeze back up towards the top of this cocoon as he starts kind of leaving the chamber he's in. Feel free to hang out as long as you want, or, you know, whatever.
Hey, you fellas at the table, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Yeah, what is it?
Well, he said that you're able to get, like, water and leaves and stuff. That's pretty useful. How do you do that? Could you maybe get some, like, fruit, too?
Could. He doesn't eat fruit, so we get food for him.
This is a pretty nice place in here. I might actually want to hang around for a little while. It's got a nice ambience to it.
They have another kind of moment where they all look at each other and then kind of have a moment of conversation. Listen, Kafka's a really nice guy. Really friendly. It's been very cool of him to let us stay here while he's cocooned up and getting all big like that. But we're kind of like all four really good friends, and adding three other, like we're all Entothropes here, and adding three other to the mix might not really, you know, you don't know what it's like to be in a cocoon like us caterpillars do. And also there's a lot of other factors, but we'd kind of be more comfortable. You know, if you want to hang out, play a game of cards or something, that's fine. We'd be more comfortable if you guys just, you know, took off. Contractors, we understand, right? It seems like you did your job. You can go on, get out of here. He's fine. He said it.
I have a question.
What's that?
Why have you three not want to go into the world and emerge?
Well, that's because we're not. And then as he's kind of in the middle of saying that, you hear a sound come from upstairs, and it is ear-splitting. You just hear this sort of is the sound that you hear. It hurt my throat to do it. It's how bad it is, and it almost instantly gives all of you sort of a like a headache. like a stabbing headache for a second, and the one that was just talking kind of snaps and goes, "Go take care," and looks back at you. We are not old enough to make our own cocoons yet, so Big Bro Kafka's letting us have the run of the place. One of those caterpillars begins moving with kind of just lightning alacrity up the stairs and towards whatever the source of that weird shrieking sound that you just heard was. They don't seem overly bothered by it.
What was the noise?
Sometimes Kafka gets a little bit, antsy, get the night terrors, when he sleeps, so we just go and kind of rub his belly a little bit. Makes him, calms him down a bit. We worry about the big guy.
Does he go back to sleep?
Oh yeah, he doesn't never even wakes up, but we think it helps.
Can Ura follow the other guy who's going up the stairs?
Yeah, you go to follow the other guy, and one of the other caterpillars caterpillars gets in the way, and they're just staring at you with these kind of like blank, unmoving eyes as their body kind of blocks you. And as they look at you, Ura, they go, "Listen, Kafka doesn't like anyone bothering him when he's sleeping. Just us as friends. Not allowed up in Kafka's room, okay? He told you to hang out down here."
I am a cleric. Maybe I can help.
And I'm telling you that Kafka doesn't need any help. You think someone who made this majestic whatever, the cocoon, needs your help?
I think you all need something, but I'm not going to say exactly what it is.
You're really, Why don't you mind your own business and maybe play some cards or something, huh? I'll deal up a hand. Valraith, Plunder, are you...
How about you move and let me up the stairs?
I'm back.
Okay. I'm telling you no. That's all there is to it.
Do I really want to try to? I want to do it. Can I try and intimidate him? Even though this is probably going to end really badly.
Go ahead and what's the thing that you're saying? Are you brandishing your like weapon or something? Like, how are you trying to intimidate him?
I'm scary as hell. What the hell do I have to do?
Just a mean look. Fair enough.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what? Fair point. Go ahead and make me an intimidation check.
Oh, there it goes. Nice!
Oh, wait, 18. I saw the 4 first. Yeah, 18. So he kind of like takes like a step backwards, and it's a little bit off because it is sort of a step that he takes rather than kind of like crawling backwards, and you can hear a couple of the larger legs that they were really using to propel themselves kind of on the floor of the ground, and they kind of put themselves more firmly in the doorway before you, and as soon as this happens, just unspoken, without saying anything, like you were just staring dead in the eyes you were just staring dead in the eye of this caterpillar, and it was just kind of exchanged between the two of you. But the other caterpillar over at the bar also kind of rankles up, and you start to hear more kind of like of that skittering sound as the one that went upstairs moves to the top of the stairs and also starts to act pretty defensive. All three of them react to this intimidation.
Boys, I don't think we're dealing with average caterpillars. After all, I'm a bird and I know my bugs.
Yeah, they don't seem much like caterpillars. What do you think then?
They say
I'm
early bird gets the worm.
And all of a sudden, you hear all of their heads kind of move to the side, and one of them says the words out loud. You sure? And then immediately after that, Ura, the one that's standing right in front of you, they kind of reach out with one of these odd kind of like pincer-like legs and are going to stab at you. As they are suddenly attacking you. I would like you all to roll for initiative.
Nice.
Oh wait. Oh yeah. And that's all for right now. So the first to act in this moment. Well, actually, they're going to make an attack against you, Ubra, with their claws. Oh man, that's a 17 to hit. Does that hit?
That hit, but
you watch as.
Wait, but problem is, he hits me. I'm a Tempest Wrath of the Storm.
Oh god. Oh man, that's more damage than he dealt you. So the two kind of pincers rake out at you through it and kind of stab in, and immediately as a reaction, you this thunder. Are you doing lightning or thunder damage?
Like.
Okay, the lightning crackles back and into his form. And as that happens, you watch as his caterpillar body, it kind of like shrivels and almost like burns up from just the heat of the electricity passing through it. And you can see being revealed within this form. It looks like this caterpillar body was almost just like paper mache, or maybe made out of the same material as this cocoon is made out of. And what's revealed as it kind of pulls back is you see just this like horrible twisted face and these like long spider-like claws. And this appears to be, for anyone who's familiar with it, a Neogi on the other side of this. On the other side of this weird papier-mâché caterpillar husk it built for itself. In this case, the first to act in initiative is going to be Valraith. You see this immediately. The other ones kind of snap too. What would you like to do first, Valraith?
How far away am I from the first one that's just attacked Ura?
There's one that's even closer to you that was over sitting kind of near the bar pouring water for everyone. Then there's this one at the stairs and another one higher up on the stairs, as well as
the closest one.
That's the one by the bar. Yeah.
I'm going to him, and
18 is absolutely going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
Oh, and by the way, you already know it's coming.
Oh yeah. Okay. He's not an undead or fiend. They are aberrant in nature, but that's 19 points of damage. And as you slice through, this appears to be the same type of creature. The caterpillar husk, they were kind of looking like medium creatures, but they're actually a lot smaller, and they're just kind of moving things around from the inside with their legs. And they take 19 points of damage. That is not enough to finish this guy off in one strike, but that's a lot of damage nonetheless. As we move next in initiative to...
I'm also going to do this. One sec. Is my bonus.
Very good. All right. You imbue your weapon with divine favor, making it in future attacks deal an extra 1d4 radiant damage. Is that all for your turn, Valraith?
Is it?
That's going to bring us next in initiative to... Oh, it's Foe turn. Foe are going to, immediately at you, as they've kind of been moved out of the inside of their caterpillar guise that they're in, they are going to bite down on you with these, like, terrible-looking teeth. 11, I assume, misses. Valraith?
Oh yeah, it way misses.
15.
Misses.
What's your armor class, just out of curiosity? Oh yeah, you're a fighter. What am I talking about?
No.
Oh, well, no, you're a
Paladin.
paladin, obviously. You just smote. What am I talking about? Again, but you're heavy armor.
Oh, yes.
That is going to bring us next in initiative to... Oh, or actually, there's other guys. The one that's right in front of you, Ura, is going to go after you again, Ura. And they're going to make a bite attack against you. That's a 14 to hit. Does that get you?
Not hit.
All right, you dodge that strike, and then the claws are going to whip it. That's a 22. That's 7 points of slashing damage.
Rapid Storm.
Oh, actually, you haven't had a turn yet, so you've already used your reaction. So you can only you can't Rapid the Storm this one. But
Every time I got hit.
you are roboting out really hard, so I'm not sure what you're saying.
Oh, shoot.
You can do that every. I'm sorry. Were you saying you can do that? You can do that every time you get hit, but it takes a reaction, and you haven't had a turn since you used it last.
Okay.
So that's why. But we are going to move next to the one at the back at the top of the stairs, and they're going to look down actually at you, Hiori, and I'd like you to make me a wisdom saving throw, Hiori.
Boy.
21, that is going to pass. They look down at you for a moment, and you see their eyes, and you feel that like headache that you felt when you heard that screeching from upstairs previously, and you, for a moment, you feel overcoming, you can't even think, and then it passes away, and they look kind of frustrated at the top of the stairs. Or actually, they just look like a caterpillar because their costume has not been removed yet. So that's all for Foe turn. Now it is your turn, Ura. So what would you like to do, Ura?
How far is the one in front of me and the one on top of the stairs? How far between the two?
They are pretty close to each other. They're about 10 feet apart on the stairs, so you could probably get both. But we lost Mizra for a second, so we're going to go to next in initiative while we wait for Mizra to come back, which is going to be...
Second.
It is going to be Hiori. What do you want to do, Hiori?
Okay, is there any way for me to get to the person up the stairs or no?
You would have to make an athletics check to push by the person that's at the base of the stairs. There's a lot of kind of people in your way because it's a single file stairway, and then there's Ura and an enemy.
So there's the one at the bar. There's
one at the bar, there's one
one
on the stairs, and then the one at the base of the stairs, which is right next to Ura.
Okay. I believe Valraith has the one at the bar, yes?
Oh, yes!
Like you have... Of course. You definitely have him. You're gonna kill him. Well, Mizra's back, so probably first up before...
We'll finish your turn, we'll come back, because the order won't matter too much here, I assume.
Okay, well, in that case, I'm gonna bonus action Shield of Faith.
Alright, you put upon a Shield of Faith. What would you like to do after that?
Oh, I'm gonna walk up to this guy in front of Mizra, and I'm gonna do some big smacks.
Alright, go ahead and make an attack roll. 23 and 16 are both going to hit. Nice shots. For 16 and 11, 27 points of 27 points of damage in
Does
two
that
swift
kill
swings.
him?
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's close. Yep, that is actually enough. In two swift swings, and then the second one cuts through.
Then I will not
creatures.
use any smites.
It's without smites. I assumed there were smites included in that. Damn. And this creature kind of coughs and collapses down onto the ground. And that's a pretty good... I assume that's all for your turn? Pretty good turn?
With this guy's, like... Now with his friend dead at my feet, I'm gonna look up at the one up the stairs and just give him that death glare.
He is an implacable caterpillar mask, but you can
That's
interpret
fine.
what he's doing on the inside however you wish.
I'm gonna end my turn, yeah.
Mizra, or is your mic working now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you very clearly now. So
Okay, good.
The one in front of Hiori, or in front of you, Hiori came up and stabbed. There's the one behind you where Valraith is, and the one at the top of the stairs. What would you like to do?
Okay, let me aim for the one at the top of the stairs because I don't want to do anything bad to anyone else that's around me. So, come on, computer, stop being a pain. We are going to guiding bolt.
And unfortunately, it's going to miss as it flies over. Actually, 8 doesn't. The bonus wouldn't help, but you might want to look at your guiding bolt because 8 doesn't seem like it's high enough. But
That's a +2. What?
Yeah, it should be a more than a +2, I think. What's your wisdom modifier, Ura?
Wisdom modifier? 5. No, I'm sorry. Lord, I'm looking at the wrong page.
The +3. I just said
Yeah.
that. So you should have at least a +5, or you should have a +5 to hit, not a +3. So that was actually an 11, but 11 misses. So the guiding bolt flies past and strikes into the wall behind. And anything else on your turn, Ura?
I could move up there to him. And nah. Nope. I'm gonna stay where I'm at.
All right, Daakar.
Oh, are we getting violent now?
Of course we are.
Okay, sorry, guy, you're probably not a caterpillar. You're like a many legs thing or something. I don't know. It's creep. I'm not feeling it.
A creepy crawling.
Be cursed.
He's cursed.
Also,
Going after the one on the stairs, the one near Valraith.
The one up on the stairs. Sorry.
Okay. No problem.
and why don't you also come over here?
16 is gonna hit. Go ahead and roll
He's gonna
damage on
be-
that.
He's gonna be pulled 10 feet down the stairs.
Oof, and 10 points of force damage. As you, does he also take 1 point of necrotic?
It's actually supposed to be 3 points of extra force.
That's the Hexblade's damage. Okay, yeah. So 13 points of force damage as you fire a blast up towards the top of the stairs, and then they are dragged down to the bottom of the stairs. Their legs kind of like clatter and stumble, ripping out a little bit of the cocoon as they're dragged down, but they are still kind of raring to go as we move. Anything else on your turn, Daakar?
That's everything I could do.
Ura, Hiori, they land right at your feet as we move to the top of the initiative, which is Valraith. What do you want to do, Valraith?
Well, it depends, but let's see what the first stun does. Oh, I think that hits.
For 11. 11 is enough to finish off this one.
Okay. How far away is the one by Ura?
The space that you're in isn't massive. You could walk over.
Okay, I'm gonna walk over and bonus action with my offhand attack.
Yeah, go for it.
Because of the All-Blade, I don't have to worry about whatchamacallit.
Well, critical fail is a critical fail. You stab upwards, and it kind of catches into some of the remains of their caterpillar costume and gets a little stuck, and you miss, unfortunately. Anything else on your turn, Valraith?
That's it.
We move next in initiative to another thing in initiative that you haven't seen yet. And you kind of hear... you hear a deep voice begin kind of calling out, Kithrix, Grindal, why aren't you answering my telep? And they kind of a larger head of one of these creatures pokes down around and looks into the looks into the space and sees the two dead Neogis that you guys have already dealt with, and then a much bigger one of these Neogis just kind of roars a bit, and I need... They are going to cast a spell up in here. I need everyone, actually, to make me a... Let me just make sure I'm reading how this works right. Okay. I need everyone to do nothing. But what happens right now is they just kind of roar, and the space inside of this cocoon becomes dark and very scary, as like a seeming like portal opens up underneath all of you, and they are casting Hunger of Hadar, which you can't see apparently, but trust me that they casted it. Let me see if we can make this work. As they cast Hunger of Hadar. Third time's the charm. As they cast Hunger of Hadar. There we go. Which you don't have to make that dexterity saving throw right now. You'll make it at the start of your turn. And it is foe turn. The one Neogi left at the bottom, at the base level here, is going to make attacks against you. They're going to go after Hiori or Val. I think they're going to go after you, Valraith. And they're going to make a couple attacks against you. And that's going to be a bite and a claws.
Nope. Nope.
Oh no, they're in a tough spot. There's 3 people around them, so they really don't want to back up right now.
4, actually.
Wasn't Daakar a little bit back? Step back a little
No,
bit?
Dakar's on my shoulder.
Oh.
Always the shoulder bold.
Well, in that case, that's even more reason for them to end their turn with that, and that's going to bring us to... Ura. Ura. What would you like to do, Ura?
There's still one at my feet, correct?
There is... there's one at your feet, yeah. That got pulled down there by Daakar. There's one of the little ones left, and now at the top of the stairs, there's a larger one.
I'll aim for the one at my feet.
Alright. Go ahead and make an attack roll. Or whatever it is you're gonna do.
Wow.
Also, at the start of your turn, I do need you to make me a dexterity saving throw for the Hunger of Hadar. Or actually, I'm sorry, you just take 3 cold damage, and then if you end your turn in the area, you make that dexterity saving throw. So for now, you're good, but odds are you will have to end your turn in the area because it takes up the whole.
Yeah,
turn.
I'm in it, so.
Okay. So they are going to fail their dexterity saving throw because it should be higher because of the same issue as being applied. So they do take that 1 point of radiant damage, and then you are going to fail your dexterity saving throw, taking 9 points of acid damage. So you take a total of 12 damage this round from the Hunger of Hadar. And all right, that's going to bring us next in initiative 2. It is now Hiori. Hiori, at the start of your turn, you will take 4 points of cold damage.
2.
Yeah, forget. But what would you like to do, Hiori?
This guy at my feet, right? He's gonna die in a few moments.
That depends on some things. But he's at your feet, that's for sure.
I can see the other guy coming down the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Wait, how far away is he from me?
The one at the top of the stairs?
Yeah.
That one's just like poking their head around the corner. They're like 20 feet up.
Okay. Then... Does preparing an action take the entire turn, or
Readying an
can I
action
bonus
is an
action?
action. So you can bonus action
Okay.
and ready an action if you wish to do so.
So I'm gonna bonus action Vow of Enmity
Fair enough.
at that guy,
Good call.
and then I'm gonna prepare an action.
All right, what are you readying an action for?
I'm just readying a normal attack.
What's the trigger for it, though? I mean,
The trigger is that guy comes within my attack range, which is
Okay.
10 feet.
okay. And then at the end of your turn, you can make a dexterity saving throw for the acid damage.
Sure.
Which you are going to succeed, so you will take no
acid
damage.
All right, cool.
And that's going to bring us next to that's such a complicated spell, Hunger of Vendaris. That's going to bring us next in initiative to Daakar. What would you like to do, Daakar?
Second first, same as the first. Have some chains, everyone.
Are you going after the one at the top of the stairs or the one?
Yes, at the top of the stairs.
11 is going to 11 is going to miss, but a 23 is going to hit. They are kind of in a position where they're like I said, their heads just sticking out. So they're not really like their body isn't really in a position to get like dragged, because you have to like pull them through the wall. So what I'm going to say happens here is with the 23, you're going to hit even through their cover. Go ahead and roll damage on that. 13 points of force damage. Nice. That's max damage, isn't it?
It is.
Plus an extra 3 from the... Oh, they don't have the curse. Okay. So you pull them, and they get pulled into the wall, but these walls are pretty fragile. So you don't pull them any distance, but you do destroy that chunk of the wall, and they are now kind of exposed and free from cover, as there's just a big gap in the stairwell. There's what looks like a support pillar that was hollow on the inside that you can now see the end of, and there's a bunch of just debris from this cocoon that kind of clatters to the ground. As you can see, their slightly larger body here exposed. And now that you can see their whole form, they're carrying on their back what appears to be a bag, and there are a ton of smaller versions of this creature, tiny heads sticking out of it. And as they get pulled into the wall, this creature and all of the little baby Neogis all just start letting go of that high-pitched, like, terrible scream again. The same one that you kind of heard before.
I'm also gonna just hop off Hiori's shoulder and walk back enough to step out of this complicated mess of a spell.
You have to walk through an enemy to do this. Because it basically fills up the whole room, because it's a 20-foot radius sphere.
Oh.
So it's a big old spell.
I've forgotten how tiny our environment is.
Yeah,
I'm
you're not in a big chamber, so you're kind of stuck. So let me roll that, actually. So go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw. Unless you want to try, you could like try and jump over and into the stairwell where it isn't. But that would require a little check.
Wait, was this thing pulled, like, through the wall?
It got pulled. It was tried to pull it, and then it had to go through a wall to pull it forward. So instead of pulling it forward, it destroyed the wall that it was hiding behind.
Okay, so it's still...
It's in the same spot, yeah, but it's
Okay.
now you now have a clear vision of it.
Man,
I'll go ahead and leap towards the stairs.
All right, go for it.
I wish I'd have switched my prepared
You take
action.
9 points of cold damage at the start of your turn. Go ahead and make me an acrobatics check.
Okay. Big flippy.
You leap deftly through the air and land, reasonably agilely behind the Neogi, not having to worry about the acid. Also, you need to make a concentration check for being hit. That's going to bring us next in initiative to... That's the top of the initiative. And there's this one Neogi that's on the ground in front of you, Valraith. And they just kind of... as they're kind of bearing down over you, They kind of look back upwards, or I'm sorry, you're bearing down over them. They look back upwards towards the other Neogi, and they just go, "Mother, take the children and run with the meal." What do you want to do, Valraith?
I'm gonna attack.
All right. I don't think I don't think he's gonna make it, but we'll see how it goes. Go ahead and make it.
Alrighty.
Actually, he's only been hit by a couple of things. He's got a little bit of health left.
I'm gonna try to get the one out of my way so I can go up. So,
13 is unfortunately going to miss.
that's my offhand.
But offhand is going to.
Oh!
Offhand is gonna hit. Go ahead and roll damage on that. That's gonna hit for 13 points of piercing damage. Is that with critical? I don't think it rolled critical damage.
Nope,
Oh, that's
it
not the +3. That's the +3. Duh.
Okay.
And another.
What's another 3?
So 16. Actually, 16 damage is enough to finish this thing off. You stab into it, and it falls. It
Well,
falls
at the top
right.
of the stairs.
All
As
right,
he
you get up.
falls.
You get up to the top of the stairs next to this, mother Neogi. It looks like.
Is it
Anything else on your
lighter
turn?
Is-
Wait, say again.
Is it dark or light? Because it changed the.
Yeah, it's lit up here because of the light just penetrating through the outside of the cocoon.
Yeah.
But you're up next to them, and as you get to this point, I do at the start of your turn, you are going to take some damage from the Hunger of Hadar. It's doing a lot of work. You take 10 points of cold damage, but you left the area, so you do not take any acid damage. And you are right up next to this person. That's going to bring us to their turn, actually, and they are going to run away from you, provoking an opportunity attack.
Well, I can't turn that down.
Am I close enough to get one as well?
No, because he ran up the top of the stairs to get up next to the all the three that you first were encountering are good. Yeah, oh god, 11 points of damage. All right, you slash into, and you just hear as she kind of skitters away, legs upon the ground away from you, curling up around the stairs.
I had to do that. Nope. Never mind. Don't disregard the 3.
As they kind of get up to the stairs, you just kind of hear, "All right, you're coming with me. We fattened you up for a reason." And then you just hear, "Oh man, what are you?" And that's going to bring us next initiative to Ura. What would you like to do, Ura?
I, for one, am tired of the Hunger for Dar, so I'm going to fly up to the front of our spidery-looking friend. And I am going to slash him with my halberd, which, as I already know, is not the right roll, but oh well, we're gonna do with it.
Oh wait, so you're running all the way up the stairs to try and catch up with them?
Flew up the stairs, actually. You said it was only 20 feet, right?
Oh yeah, you can do this. Well, it's 20 feet to get to the curve in the stairs, and then it's another 20 feet to get up, but with your 50-foot fly speed, you can do this. So you just whip it around and up the corner, and you crash into the room, and you can see the Neogi is trying to rip through the wall and pull the caterpillar out mid them. The real were-caterpillar is there, just kind of like, "I don't know about all this." And all the babies on her back are chomping at the bit, getting ready to get a bite of this huge caterpillar. Anything else on your... so you get to the top. You have 10 feet of movement left, which is enough to get there, and then you want to attack with your halberd?
Yeah.
Alright, so go ahead and make me an attack roll.
I did, didn't it miss?
Yeah, 12 unfortunately doesn't. Yeah, 12 does not hit, unfortunately.
Yeah, but again, well, at least I'm stopping her from going any further.
Yeah, and they failed their concentration, so there was no Hunger of Hadar this turn. Right, but yep, you're right up next to them as they are looking at you, unhappy at what you're doing, as we move next to Hiori. What would you like to do, Hiori? They tried to make an escape. Do you want to run up the stairs, or
Yes, I'm going to do that as well.
you would have to take a dash action to get up next to them, or you could go 30 feet and then have a visual of them, and it would be another 20 feet to get to them. But you could see them through the stairs up ahead, and Ubra up next to them. What would you like to do?
Let me think about what I want to do. What's the rank? Wait.
What's the
Aha, no, that's a joke, lol. So actually, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna run up and then I'm gonna Misty Step.
Oh, okay. So you get up to you move your movement, and then you Misty Step the rest of the way. You are right up next to them. You still have an action.
Oh yeah, with advantage, I'm gonna attack this thing.
All right. Oh yeah, because you did your vow. The 12 will miss, but the 25 will absolutely hit. That's going to be. Oh, and there's the smite as well. Okay. What's the total there? 14, 15, 29 points of damage. Did I do that right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 14, 12, so 26 points of damage. 26 points of damage. Wow. All right, you swing your glacial tear and cut into the side of them, and this terrible kind of like sickly brackish green blood kind of flows out, and they they're holding on, but they're unhappy. Anything else on your turn, Hiori?
Nah, that's gonna be the end of my turn.
All right. In that case, that's going to bring us to Daakar. You are at the base of the stairs. What would you like to do?
I would like to run up the stairs.
Fair enough. You reach. Are you just dashing to the top of the stairs?
No, sorry, no. I'm just gonna walk up the stairs the full 30 feet, so I can have line of sight.
All right, you do this. Probably have half cover from Hiori and a narrow door frame, but you have line of sight.
Man, you are being really difficult right now. I mean, you're trying to murder someone and kidnap them, and I can't even get close to you. I am really not liking this situation. So,
Close
why don't
quarters.
Bonus action. It's hex time.
All right, you hex.
And I will be hexing strength, I think.
Actually, they have very few recourses at this point. They're gonna counterspell that hex. Because one, they don't know what you're casting, and two, they're running out of options real quick. So they're gonna counter hex.
I don't have counterspell as well yet, so.
Okay. So the hex fizzles. What's your warlock spell level now?
3.
Okay, so yeah, the hex fizzles. What else do you got on your turn?
We're gonna pull Mizra back in, by the way.
Third verse, same as the second, except not pulling them downstairs this time.
Okay.
Have some chains.
Hit him.
Get over here. Oh.
Unfortunately.
It's
The
too bad
Eldritch
that
Train.
isn't at advantage because kobold.
Wait, that is.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you have pack tactics.
Okay.
So, go ahead and just roll and try two more. Try two more times. 11 and oh Jesus!
Jesus.
Wait.
Uh,
I can't believe this.
Somehow worse. You, the second one hits Hiori right in the armor, and they feel nothing. Oh, cool.
Well, that's DnDTime.
Oh,
There's
nice.
no
You cast-
PvP.
You cast the mirror image spell for free. That's pretty cool. And that's going to bring us next initiative to the top, which is Valraith. What would you like to do, Valraith?
Okay, so I was at the top of the stairs. I'm just 20 feet away.
Yeah.
Okay, guess what time it is?
I'm afraid of that time, maybe?
No,
What are you
it's
gonna
fun
do?
times.
Tell me what you're doing.
I believe that hits.
It's gonna hit.
All right. 1 sec, I'm not done. Oh, I have a little bit more.
You monster. You all-blade
I
woman.
mean, you know...
12 and 12 is 24 points of damage. How would you like to kill this Nyogi?
As I slash through just that black ichor you were talking about earlier, just spraying everywhere. And then I just get my handy-dandy handkerchief and just start wiping it off. It's gonna have to be clean.
And all of the baby Nyogis that they were carrying skitter off and are immortal because even though they're monsters, there's no child death in the land of DnDTime. And they run away and begin kind of clambering away as black spray kind of fills over the place and the wall kind of rips through as you do this, as the little Nyogi escape. But all foes are defeated before you. And Kafka's there now just covered in this kind of black ichor, just kind of looking at the group of you like, what just happened?
They were trying to eat you, by the way.
Those weird creatures? Where were all my friends?
Your friends
Those were your friends.
were also those weird creatures.
But they brought me lots of leaves and water.
They were feeding you and watering you to, size
Fatten
you
you
up.
up.
They were gonna let their children eat you. I think it's time you left the cocoon.
I don't like it in here anymore. I'm gonna come out.
Yeah, plus all those little children things are in here now, and you're gonna have an infestation. I'm not sure you're gonna like that very much.
Okay, yeah, I'm coming out. Could you guys give me some privacy? Just leave and I'll be out in like a couple minutes. I have to like do something to wrap it all up here.
I just had a realization. How do we leave?
He just kind of leans over to the thing that was the part of the cocoon that was starting to close up and just, you could just climb the outside again?
We came up here with a beetle.
It's a long way down.
Hold on a second. And he just kind of like focuses, and you see him kind of go over and just start building over on the side of it, and he just makes a little platform on the outside of the cocoon for you guys to stand on. And he goes, "Don't worry, I'll get you when I'm done."
Okay, thank you.
All right, so you guys step outside.
Yep. I realize I could drop down and still live.
That's probably true. But you guys kind of step out on the platform. You can see his butterfly parents are kind of looking at you with like a shrug. They just saw a bunch of creepy monsters fly out of the cocoon, and they're looking at you worried, and they're like, "What's going on?" You're very far away from them right now, but they're gesturing towards you.
Hiori's gonna thumbs up at him for an all good.
And they both kind of like their shoulders sink as they grow relieved. And then as the part of the cocoon behind you closes, you begin to see it like wither and kind of collapse in on itself. And you guys who are on this little platform, that platform is like also withering and getting like smaller and smaller as the cocoon seems to condense down. And then out of the edge of the cocoon, an absolutely massive butterfly wing emerges on the other side. Another huge one, butterfly wings the size of which you've never seen, certainly larger than any other Entothrope in the area. And as the cocoon shrivels, it just kind of begins to fall out of the tree, and you guys all fall down to the ground alongside of it. But then it gets caught and held by a huge butterfly, kind of a regular-sized body, but wings maybe 8 or 9 times the size of any other butterfly enterope that you see flying around the area, as they very gently lower the cocoon down to the ground, and you can see before you Kafka's metamorphosis as they have become a butterfly. They look at all of you and go, "Thank you all so much. I was really in a daze back then. Had no aim in life, was just sort of lazing around, letting those strange creatures feed me. But I've matured now, and I can say, quite frankly, I owe you my life. Thank you so much for your assistance, all of you." As this butterfly looks over at all of you.
Don't take it.
Or
too
walks over to the dad and is like, "I apologize about the the airship parent comment. You had every right to worry."
It's all right. I'm just glad my son is safe. How much did he eat in there? It goes straight into wings, so...
Don't ask.
I think the higher concern right now is you guys have a Neogi infestation. You might want help with that.
And as we start to hear just like small screams emanating from people in other places within the cocoonery, I believe each of you earn your 200 Bartholomew bucks. Each of you gain 1 point of experience. And with that, you have successfully completed the cocoon, this adventure. Congratulations, heroes. Would any of you like to shop?
No.
No.
Plunder, did you say you did?
Yeah, but let me see what I got.
Well, regardless, you guys eventually make your way out of the Hive, and you hear a familiar, "If you need a magic item, you know where to stop. Just head on, it's your only shop to Bartholomew's shop." Greetings, adventurers. I heard there were some questions about how I teleported your ally to you in that particular battle. You see, I have to send you to teleportation circles, but if I know where one of you are, I can send one of you to where one of another of you are. So that is the reasoning there.
Valraith has no currency except for the 200 he just got.
Yep.
Seems like you're broke. Daakar, did you have anything you wanted?
Nothing that I can afford right now.
In that case, that is going to be all for right now. We'll be back shortly with our second adventure of the evening. It should be a lot of fun. I'm very excited because I got to read the synopsis ahead of you. So make sure you stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Be right back.